Let's turn it over to Jordan Belfort, motivational speaker known as the Wolf of Wall Street. Jordan, did you see Mini Madoff coming, or were you one of the smart guys?
Well, I didn't have any money at FTX. I think the whole concept of like what FTX represented, which was a brokerage firm you don't know how they're holding your money. It's overseas, and even his domestic operations in the U.S. were really lightly regulated. So I didn't lose money. It was, listen, I will admit, though, that not that I was fooled by it, but, you'd have no way of knowing how much fraud someone is committing unless you can look inside their books.
Well, what if you just look at what they're wearing?
Telltale signs.
What if the guy has an afro with gym shorts and he's shaking like this?
So the people that actually did due diligence, they actually should have their heads examined, because if I would have walked into this place and taken one look around, it would have taken me 5 seconds flat to say there is something amiss here. There's no way these guys are on the level. He was playing video games. They're all banging each other in this insane. It was more like a frat house than a business, right? And the guy that took over, this guy Ray, who was the receiver, is saying that like it is all his years, he's never seen something so poorly run with no governance, no controls. How could all those big, sophisticated funds from Sequoia on down have given this guy money and not picked up on? And that I don't know. It's impossible.
He had beds in the boardroom, and the boardroom was in the Bahamas, a tax haven. Okay, so there you go right now.
Yeah.
And now he's complaining that he doesn't have a proper vegan diet behind bars. How do you think that's going to shake out? I wouldn't be so concerned about my diet if I was in a jail in the Bahamas.
I know a little bit about this. So he's facing a really long, tough road here. And the vegan diet, or lack thereof, is the least of his problems. He's going to spend a couple of years in probably either MDC, Metropolitan Center in Brooklyn, or MCC in Manhattan. And it is not fun there. They're just locked up 23 hours a day until he ultimately gets sentenced. He's probably going to get, I would say he's going to get 50 years, something pretty serious like that.
All right, so you were in prison for a little while for some shenanigans that you paid your dues for. He's facing some hard time.
Correct.
From someone that's had that experience, do you have any advice for Minnie, how to stay out of trouble in prison?
Well, first of all, he's got to shut up. This guy has got diarrhea of the mouth. And it's shocking, by the way, that they arrested him yesterday. I mean, it's like stopping a witness in mid-confession. But that's really what this is like, what they did. The guy's spilling his guts, was about to spill his guts in front of Congress. I wonder if there was any pressure put on him by the Biden DOJ. I mean, come on, Jesse. I mean, the guy's about to testify and say, God, you play everybody and all the people he donated to, so they arrest the guy. Well, anyway, once it gets to the U.S., though, he's in for some serious pain. He needs to shut up. That's what he needs to do, shut up and listen to his lawyers.
All right. That's what smart people do. Jordan Belfort, thanks as always for joining us.
My pleasure, Jessica.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.